were the Vikings? The Vikings were warriors in northern Europe between the late 8th and 11th centuries. They belonged to clans, or large families, and were ruled by chiefs. Other northern European people gave them the name Vikings, which means pirates. They were also known as Norsemen, or Northmen. Where did they live? Vikings lived in Scandinavia, which is made up of the modern countries of Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. They also eventually settled in Iceland, Greenland, and other North Atlantic islands. What did they do? At home, the Vikings were farmers, but they were also very good boat builders and sailors. They built big wooden boats, called longships, which were easy to steer and floated high in the water, making them easy to land on beaches. The Vikings would use the position of the sun and stars to find their way across the seas, and they sailed huge distances to attack other countries and steal from them. In the late 700s, a group from Denmark, called the Danes, were the first Vikings to attack England. They were driven out by the English, but they soon returned, and a Danish king, called Canute I, ruled England from 1016 to 1035 as part of his Viking Empire. England finally threw off Danish rule in 1042. However, in 1066, the Normans, who were descendants of Vikings who had settled in France, also conquered England at the Battle of Hastings, led by William the Conqueror. William the Conqueror was the first Norman king. The Normans ruled England for 300 years. Vikings also attacked Ireland in the late 700s and ruled over large parts of the country until 1014, when the Irish beat them in the Battle of Clontarf. Some Vikings sailed east and invaded parts of Russia. Who were the Viking gods and goddesses? The Vikings believed in many gods and goddesses. According to Norse mythology, they lived in palaces in the sky, in a place called Asgard. Odin was the king of the Norse gods, and his palace was called Valhalla. He was the god of war, wisdom, and poetry. Thor was a son of Odin, and was the god of thunder, the sky, and agriculture. The Norse people believed that the sound of thunder came from Thor throwing his hammer into the earth. Loki was the god of mischief, who could shape-shift to become different kinds of animals, and who caused chaos wherever he went. Frigg was the wife of Odin, and was the goddess of marriage and fertility. Freyja was the goddess of magic, war, love, and treasure. The Vikings believed that when their chiefs died, they would go to Valhalla, so they would place them in a burial ship with all the supplies they would need to get there, including clothes, tools, weapons, jewelry, and even animals. Did you know? Not all Viking warriors were men. Shieldmaidens were female warriors who fought alongside the men in battle. Lagertha is one of the most famous shield maidens. In about 1000 AD, a Viking named Leif Eriksson sailed all the way to North America, actually discovering it 500 years before Christopher Columbus. According to legends, Ragnar Lodbrok was a 9th century Viking hero and a Swedish and Danish king. However, it is not clear if he was a real person or a mix of several historical figures. He was said to have many sons, including Bjorn Ironside and Ivar the Boneless, who were both real historical figures.